Yes, yes, I'm hearing you.
Okay. Okay, so without wasting time, let's just move straight ahead to the session. Okay, so our speaker for today is Michael Oshameka. Sorry if I murdered your name. Apologies. Okay, so Michael is a Nigerian creative artist, 3D generalist, environment designer, world builder, animator, director, and writer. He has always had a strong passion for action adventure productions, films, and games from his early years as an adolescent. He is co-founder of Mercury Interactive Incorporative Incorporation, sorry, I think that's what it is, a Canadian-based games development company, and also the founder of Hattie Studio, a Nigerian-based studio aimed at developing unique 3D animation content on par with current industry standard of production. While plunging deep into production, Michael is also focused on contributing to the evaluation of the films and games industry in Nigeria and Africa via training and mentorship. So welcome. Good afternoon, Michael, and it's nice to have you join us today.
Good afternoon, Shefa. Thank you so much for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you. Okay, so today our topic is, sorry, one second. Okay, apologies for that break. My device was freezing. Okay, so our topic today is the gig economy, thriving as a freelancer or independent contractor in Nigeria's tech sector. So I'll just go to a question for the first. So this is going to be a discussion type session, right? So if you just keep your questions at the end, there will be opportunity to ask questions. Okay, so the first question here is, okay, Michael, can you share your personal experience as a freelancer or independent contractor in Nigeria's tech space? And what led you to pursue this path, this career path?
Very well. Let me start with a short background of my development process that would lead me into sharing with us what I do today and how I came to the way I am. So, yeah, thanks again, everyone, for having me here with you, discussing this topic, the gig economy, thriving as a freelancer or independent contractor in Nigeria's tech sector. I'd say my journey started way back from like about 2010, 2011. And that's when my training or my learning curve began in the digital space. So I've always been artsy, I've always been the type of person who tends towards the arts, the creatives. Although I studied a science course in the university And by God's grace, I finished with a first-class degree, pure and applied physics, Ladoke Akintola University of Technology, that's Lautech. However, while pursuing my degree in physics, I was going through a learning process in digital designs as well as 3D modeling and animation. So it was a combination of a whole lot. Two different fields. Physics is in the sciences and graphics as well as 3D is in the arts. So it's like a whole set of new skills being incorporated into a person who is in the science field. However, it was a wonderful journey for me. The learning process, I mean, it's what I wanted to do. It's not something which anyone forced me to do, or perhaps say, because I needed money, or let me learn the skill so I can use it to earn. No, I just had an interest in designs, digital designs. How come Corel, they are creating flyers? Okay, me too, I'm interested, I want to learn. And yeah, I started out with Corel then. And I had a wonderful mentor who, in person of Oluyemi Mole, who put me through a lot of things in Corel Draw as well as Photoshop then. And I think I picked up Illustrator quite on my own completely. But having someone to help you, to guide you through, I'll say that was a huge boost for me in my learning process. And I picked up 3D on my own, started with Maya. I left Maya the very first day I touched Maya. And I went on to Blender. I learned both Blender and Cinema 4D while I was in school. But right now, I majorly use Blender for my works. That's in the 3D world. And for game development, we use software called Unreal Engine. Yeah. So I would say this, in terms of the learning curve, it's not been easy, but there's always been that craving, that passion, that heart for, this is what you want to do. This is what your life is about, and you give yourself completely to it. No matter the storms that come, you just keep going on, you just keep pressing on. And by the time you look back at the years that have come by or that you've gone through, you realize you've achieved a whole lot, or you've done a whole lot, or you've progressed a whole lot. So such has been my journey so far. And I took a break actually from not completely, but yeah, a huge time break when I went to work in the bank. That was through 2019 and into half of 2020. And by June 2020, I told myself, okay, yeah, it's time to leave the bank. It's time to leave that space. It's not my place. I know where I belong. I know where I'm meant to be. So, and I returned back into the digital space as a creative. Yeah. And even while working in a bank, I was still a creative. I was working as a comic artist. I produced a comic series then, titled Drifters, with New Dawn Creatives. So that's a bit of my background. And most of those times I was freelancing, printing, creating designs for people and individuals and corporations as well. Like it's a process. I grew into creating designs here for companies later on. However, now I rarely do graphics designs. I major in 3D development, that's 3D modeling, character designs, environment designs for games, yeah, as well as for animations. So that's majorly what I do now. And as a co-founder at Mercury Interactive, it entails a whole lot. Getting to, look for people who are skilled to also partake in projects and the like. So yeah, that's a bit of my background. So for the question, in the Nigerian tech industry, let me focus on the Nigerian tech industry. I would say the Nigerian tech industry has grown a whole lot in the past couple of years, coming up with new fields where people can actually showcase their expertise. I remember then it was majorly web development, graphics design, software development. I mean, then we did not really have something like, say, digital marketing as a focal point or as a field where people can focus to showcase their skill. But now we have that. We have digital marketing as part of it, which is in demand right now. So Then we weren't saying product design. Then we were saying UI UX, UI UX, UI UX. Go and learn Figma, go and learn Adobe XD. So yeah, I learned Adobe XD during my time. You know, I felt it was part of graphics, but it's actually part of the tools used in providing solutions to problems. That's just a simple definition of product design. You're designing solutions to problems. So that's product design for you. And the industry has grown so much. If you look at the amount of people who have left the country as a result of gaining skills in some of these fields, it's a wowing number. It's an astonishing amount of persons. Yeah, just with the skills, not with their certificates or maybe what they studied in school. No, just with the skills alone. Yeah, so I'll say the pandemic actually geared us into that transition a whole lot, when people are working from home and you get to now feel, really, am I actually making good use of my time? I mean, can't I learn something new? And you begin to check YouTube or you check Udemy and you begin to see various courses and you're like, so there's something like this. What does it mean? Or what do they do there? And before you know it, something just grabs your attention and then you plunge into it and begin to see the results, fascinating, interesting. I think I'm going to major in this. And you begin to transition. So really, the Nigerian tech industry has grown a whole lot. And for me, I would say it's the learning curve I went through. That was the highlight of my experience, as well as how I got to become a co-founder at Mercury Interactive Incorporated. So it's a story maybe for later, but it's influenced by the Nigerian tech industry. Yeah. So what led me to pursue my career in 3D animation have always been the creative type. I've always sat down, looked up at the sky, and imagined figures in the sky, just like that. Or a bus is going by, and I'm imagining my thought process is how do I transform the head of that bus maybe to the head of a lion? And you have the head of a lion followed by the bus right behind that. People are actually inside. So it's such that my imagination is wild and it's not my doing. I would say it's just what God has made available in me. A moment, please. So I would say my encouragement is this. Irrespective of your field of study, perhaps in school or university. Now, I've had persons who um, were unable to get admission into the university due to maybe financial reasons and stuff like that. And they eventually just decided, you know what, let me attend a particular school where I can get skills. I mean, I know the English now. If they speak, I'll listen, I'll understand. And before you know it, over time, they got skilled. With that, they were able to get a job and they progressed in life. So the question I would pose to every one of us is this. If I was dropped in, say, a forest or in a desert and I was placed in a cabin, meaning I have shelter against environmental factors like the sun, rain, wind, and the likes, and I'm provided with internet and a really good working system, like a really good working laptop or computer, right? What would I do with it? What would I be able to achieve with that setup? Would I just plug up and the next thing is Netflix and movies and binge watch? Or would I be able to come up with something constructive and ask myself, what do I want to do with what is made available to me? So the question is this, what do I have right here in my hand? So there are some who you feel, oh, I don't have a laptop, I can't start the process, maybe my transition into tech. Yes, you can, even with your phone. If it's graphics, Canva is a graphics application, a web graphics application that would work even on the mobile phone. Or there are some who with their mobile phone can start even a course on digital marketing. and progress in it. A lot of things about digital marketing, you can run them even on your phone. So it's such that you shouldn't limit yourself due to what you do not have, but ask yourself the question, how can I maximize what I have in my hand? Okay, I hope that encourages someone to start in their transition to tech or in their learning curve. Thank you. Shafa, over to you, please.
Okay, Michael, I am so glad you mentioned something. Oh, by the way, I actually understand what Michael feels because I actually studied physics too. And yes, it's transitioning thing is it's quite amazing. Okay, so apologies for that. Sorry. Um, so I liked something you said when you said you worked in a bank, right? I know that's like deviating from the topic. I'm actually pointing this out because there are lots of people who like, oh, I have this job, even though they want to transition into tech, right? But like, or transition to freelancing, they're like worried that, oh, I'm not going to be getting a monthly salary coming in. How did that feel like for you to just like leave that and then like go full time into your work? Was there like this fear of, oh, I'm not going to get a certain amount of money coming in every fixed every month, and like what was it like for you to just overcome that fear and that feeling? Yes.
Okay, let me put it this way. Like, let me frame my answer this way. Can the money you're being paid where you're working, can it replace the hunger you have and the passion you have for what you want to do? Now, some persons will say, okay, hunger and passion definitely wouldn't put food on the table. And that's true. However, I did not just jump out of the bank with zero balance in my account, right? It was a strategic move. It was a calculated move as well. Okay. So, yeah, I was prepared for it. And even while working in a bank, I was still in the arts industry. I was still creating comics then. So then I still had a separate means of income. Okay. But for someone who perhaps you do not have any other means of income, that's something to think about. So the first thing is this: how can I learn while still on my job? I want to transition and I don't want to just jump out of where I am because of the fear of uncertainty. What if I jump out and things don't work the way, oh, this person has said it's going to work out fine for me. It's going to this, it's going to that. What if it doesn't? What if I learned the course and say 2 months, 3 months down the line, I've still not gotten, say, placement, or I'm still not getting the kind of gigs or jobs that I would like to get, or even earning as much as I was earning while I was in the bank. So this is it. I never knew what I would be earning in um, in the 3D industry, because me leaving the bank wasn't me leaving the bank to then just jump into techno. It wasn't just tech. It was into the 3D games development and animation industry. So I knew where I was going to. I knew where I wanted to position myself, but still I needed time to learn. So I'd saved up a good amount. I fixed those amounts into investment portfolios. Some of those portfolios had, yeah, K-leg because they were crypto then, and they got swept away. And it was painful, of course. It was really painful. I mean, this is my real life situation I'm sharing with us all here. And yeah, I had family around me though who supported me, but that did not propel me to go back, say, oh, let me go back and see if I can get a job again. No. Instead, that really propelled me much more to learn what I needed to know as fast as possible and put myself out there in the 3D industry. ArtStation, CG Trader. These are platforms where I had to immediately start putting out my portfolio, my talent, as well as the things that I created. And one of the things I started doing early, or as soon as I learned, was to start selling. Because of course, money is important. Yeah, I was earning a stable amount every month while I was in the bank. So once I learned how to create 3D characters, I started selling. I would create characters, I'll put them online, I would sell. I would create certain 3D assets. I created a series of ships models and the likes, and I would put them online to sell. They don't sell immediately, but it's a source of passive income. And of course, dollar then was still perhaps around 300 and something. Yeah. So converting it to Naira, it was a good amount, but if it was now, I'm still heading even from those models today. Models that I created like about 3 years ago, I'm still heading from them today because they are still online. Just create a product, put it there, and you're earning. It might not be every time, or it might not be regular, but yeah, someone goes there and searches for a particular product, and person falls in love with your work and gets to pay for it. You earn from that. So yeah, mine I would say it's somewhat unique. Not everyone might be able to do what I did, and I had a good support. So you need to think about it. Don't just jump out just like that. Yes, it can be, it's adventurous also, but yeah, it just might not work out the way you expect. So, but if it doesn't work out the way you expect, what should you do? Should you give up? No, instead, double it up, like double your effort. You've already moved out, you've moved out, fine. So if I'm speaking to someone here who has already taken that step to leave his or her job, and you've already started on a path to become a tech bro or tech sis, right? So and you're feeling drawn back, you're feeling maybe your learning curve isn't as fast as you anticipate, or you're not understanding what you're learning as fast as you would have loved to. I'll just tell you this: don't stop. Everybody's rate of assimilation is different. As long as you know this is what you want to do, broaden your scope about that very industry. Don't streamline it. Like, don't streamline yourself maybe to just the Nigerian sector. The COVID, the pandemic really opened up the digital space to the whole world. So jobs that perhaps before used to be available to just Americans or Brits or Aussies, right now they're available to Indians, Pakistans, Nigerians, Kenyans, South Africans. It's available to everybody. And because of the remote payments that we have, it's easy for you to just access it. So I'll say this: don't give up. If you can strategize and you have a way that you can follow, then okay, I'll save up this amount and I'll limit my spending and I'll position myself this way. 3 months of learning, and then within a month, I'm looking forward to getting a place in a tech company, or looking forward to starting my own business in this niche that I'm learning. Then why not? Shoot, start. Okay, plan it, trust God, and start. So, yep, that I hope answers the question. But that's my own experience I just shared, and I would not like I was brave enough, or yeah, I was just being courageous, and I took the steps I needed to.
Well, thank God for those steps because, I mean, part of the reason you're here is because you took those steps. Okay, so the second question would be, what skills and expertise are most in demand for freelancers and independent contractors in Nigeria's tech sector today? And how can individuals develop and showcase these skills?
Okay. I would like to expand it beyond Nigeria's tech sector, but if we decide to focus on Nigeria's tech sector, I did a little research, and from my research, I realized we've got so much more needs, or jobs that are found online have been niched to development, design, and marketing. So And most times, even when it comes to the marketing aspect, it's also includes like content writing or content creation. So if I'm going to list it, let me be partial a little. I would say graphics and product design. So yeah, graphics designers, product designers. Yeah, then I would go web design, web development, front end, back end. You'd see a lots of jobs coming from there. Front end, back end. There are different um, departments even in the back end. Some you get to see, say, Laravel and the likes, and some are just raw application developers, like they are PHP people. They just keep coding in PHP and developing stuff. So it's broad. I would say web is broad. Front end is still streamlined a little, like you can easily go into front end, then your HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and start up on front end. Maybe put together WordPress as well. Then I would say, yeah, product design and mobile app development. So yeah, I don't want to, it's best to put product design as a separate expertise, and mobile app design and development as a separate skill as well. So it's such that product design in a way still deals with the business aspect as well. But when it comes to the mobile app design, or it's coding and development, it's just, hey, see, I'm just developing according to what you guys have provided, according to what the product designer has done, or what your graphics designer has provided as well, and the schematics that you guys have given me. So yeah, and yeah, software design and development. But there is a niche that has been rising up since last year. That's cybersecurity. 2023 cybersecurity courses really came up, and as well as roles for cybersecurity. So if you're someone who is interested in ethical hacking and such, I would say that's your space. Cybersecurity, that's your space. So watch out for just in that niche as well. So I think I listed 6 so far: graphics design, product design, digital marketing. Oh, I didn't mention digital marketing, but yes, digital marketing, web design and development, mobile app development, software development, and cybersecurity. Very well.
Okay. So I like this question we're going to, because this is something that I struggled with as a freelancer too at one point. So this one is about pricing. So how do you navigate pricing and negotiations as a freelancer? Because when you go on platforms like Upwork, especially Upwork, right, it's like there's a lot of competition, and then you don't know if, oh, should I reduce my price to get jobs? But then it's more like, if you continue to reduce, if reducing your price, right, affects you in the sense that some people, once they just see that your price is small, they're like, this person can't do this job. So
Mhm.
like, how did you work around that, like
Hmm.
pricing?
Okay. Let me share with you how you can even lose a job just because you got, either you don't have an idea what to price or what to ask for, or you are asking even for too little. So there's a movie production that took place last year, and I was meant to come up as a VFX artist. It's a Nigerian movie, and the movie was released 14th. That was just how many days ago? 2 days ago? Yeah, 2 days ago. The movie was released on the 14th in the cinemas, and I was like, man, I really missed out on a really nice, sweet deal. And I feel it was because of my pricing. It was really low. So, and I thought, yeah, it's in the Nigerian industry. I can't bill them as much as if I'm billing in foreign currency. So if I convert the amount of foreign currency, I'll be like, nah, it's small. But it's in Nigeria here, and it's already in the millions. So let me go with it like that. And it wasn't approved. So yeah. For me, for most of my services in the 3D industry, both my personal services as well as company offerings, because Mercury Interactive, we receive outsourced projects, which we get to handle in-house, and then we deliver it to the target company or the person or the company that's outsourcing the job out to us. It's always majorly bigger projects, like bigger games, and we get to work on a part of the game and then we deliver what's asked of us. So we have pricings established for that. It doesn't change. Such cannot be influenced easily. Like if it's going to be influenced, perhaps some part of that pricing, we are not going to be doing some part of it, or maybe, yeah, the reasons would really be important reasons. It's not just going to be, oh, maybe it's too much, your price is too much, we want you to reduce it. No, because those are industry standard prices. So it's like this: for 1 minute 3D animation, if you go online and you search, 1 minute 3D animation costs about $1,000. Used to about $10,000, not 8,000, sorry, $10,000. However, now you would see different prices out there. So company-wise, I'll say coming down to $5,000 for a 1 minute, 60 seconds. Anything lower than that 1 minute, 30 seconds to 1 minute, same price applies. Okay, but then you get to see someone say, don't you know that's Shegun over there you did something like this. I'm sure his price cannot be as much as yours. No problem. It's not compulsory you come to me. You saw my work, it was good. That was why you came to me, right? Thank you. You can go and meet Shegun. So, I'm sorry, that's how I am. Not all jobs are mine to do. Not all projects are mine to be engaged in. Okay. When I recognize the project that I feel, apart from the price being low, it's something that I'm very, very interested in. I don't mind accepting the amount the person is offering. Just for one thing, I see value in the project, and perhaps me doing that project would actually improve me skill-wise. Maybe it would help me take up some more research about what I'm going to do, or it's a field that I'm not really conversant with, and I feel, this project would actually launch me into this. I can take it up because it's going to be improving me. And say I'm taking up that project next time, definitely the price is going to be higher. So I can take it up on such occasions to reduce my price. But having a standard list of price for your services or your products, perhaps you have digital products which you've launched online, those prices don't change. Okay, you just go with it. So one thing you can also do is this: if you're starting out, right, and you feel, I don't know the cost, I don't know how much to charge, one thing you can easily do is to go online, search for a similar offering, search for someone who is doing or who has done something similar, and tell you this, and I tell you this. You can't be the first person. I don't think you would be the first person to do something related to that kind of a project, right? So, and there are various platforms, right? If you go on Fiverr, you would see lots of offerings, various offerings from software development, application development, project management, even copywriting, graphics design, digital marketing. You would see lots of offerings. So you just get to search for what the client is asking of you and get the costs that people are putting online. Now, Fiverr is a very competitive place. And because of that, the costs that some persons put there are ridiculous amounts. Ridiculous amounts. So what I'm going to tell you today is this: you know the value of what you are offering, right? If you know the value of what you're offering, you yourself would not price yourself less. So ask yourself the question: if I'm coming to me to ask myself to do this, how much would I expect me to pay myself? Would I pay myself less than a particular amount or more than a particular amount? Because I know the value of what I can do. I know how capable I am in this field, and I know the kind of results that I can deliver. So you put yourself in that place of not being egoistic or feeling superior, no, but being realistic and asking yourself, how much would I pay myself? Of course, do the research online and find out an average cost of what it is, and then perhaps convert it to Naira if it's a Nigerian offering or a Nigerian customer or client. But you know the value of what you are offering, so you shouldn't go less. You shouldn't take less. Okay. Thank you, Sharifa. Over to you.
Okay, sorry about that. I was trying to unmute myself. Okay, so do not price less, do not shortchange yourself. Okay, two things to take note. So now, what factors should individuals consider setting their rates of fees? So for someone who's just starting out, because logically it's not smart for you to charge as much as someone who has been in the game for like a year, 2 years, or even someone has been there for 10 years. But then again, if you're also really, really good, right? Even though that's just your first time navigating that space, what would you do? I mean, okay, in the case of Upwork where you do not have a portfolio because their portfolio is according to the jobs you've done, right? So in a case where you've not done any jobs, like what are the factors? What do you think you can do to consider when you're setting those rates?
Okay, I mentioned earlier that you need to weigh the value of what you are producing or what you are creating. So, okay, let me share for was it Fiverr or Upwork? I started Fiverr, I left Fiverr and then went to Upwork. While I was on Upwork, or my first account on Upwork for graphics design was I got my first job was from an Indian, of all people, an Indian, and I was telling myself, Indians have lots of, when it comes to graphics designers, you have lots of people who are engaged in graphics design, right? Like, and here is someone coming to me and bringing a jewelry, like it's a jewelry shop, so he wants to create a full brand designs for his outlets that's ranging from his social media pages to his YouTube and everything there. And I just dropped the package and I bid for it and I got chosen. And of course, my profile would show that I've not delivered any project before. But my profile, there are, the showcase of everything I've done, like in terms of graphics. So the quality is being showcased there. And I got chosen for the project. And yeah, the cost was already fixed on the platform, like what the man was offering for the project was fixed. So that helped me in terms of I did not really need to negotiate. The amount the man was offering was reasonable. So I did not need to negotiate and say, oh, it's too small, or oh, it's too big. It's such that the person who wants to get the project done already has a fixed amount that he's proposing to get a project done. So it's now left for you as the designer to come and say, this project is too small, I'm not going to bid for it, or the cost is too small. The amount I'm going to earn for it, if I deduct Upwork's fee, is too small, I'm not going to bid for it. So it's less for you to decide, and then your tokens, if you're going to use your tokens to bid. So yeah, that helped me. And from that one customer, the man was coming over and over, like I did something really good. And he became a sort of permanent customer who, whatever he needed, he just comes to me. There was no need to post the job like online and all that. And I got his contact even off Upwork. Till today. No, no, don't let me say today, till today. It's been a while I had a chat with him though. But yeah, it became like someone I could just go on my WhatsApp and DM and ask how he's doing and how his business. So yeah, I would say that helps me there. But if someone comes to you online and the person is asking for the cost of your services, just even before the person comes, I'll say right now, while you're starting out, start preparing your mind from now that, okay, if someone is asking me to do a full brand design for a brand or a company or an organization, and I can list, these are the product offerings, these are the things the customer is going to get at the end, this will be the cost. If the person says he doesn't want all of the extras that I put in it and he just wants me to focus on certain items in the design or in the list, then I can cut it and say, okay, if I'm going to deliver this, this, and this, then this is the cost. The person can price and say, okay, is it not going to come any lower? At the back of your mind, you can already project that it's possible that the person tries to price it down, right? And then you'll be like, okay, you know what? I can still take at this price, but anything lower than this, I'm not interested. Don't tell the person anything lower than this, I'm not interested. That's like being rude, but just I'm sorry, we cannot produce this any lower than this cost. Okay, customer service is very important. If you're in the freelance economy, you know that the way you treat your customers is you are your customer service agent by yourself. So the way you speak to them, the way you compose your words, it's important. The tone you deliver, it's really important. So I hope that answers your question. Yeah.
Yes, it does. Okay, so let's go to this other question, right? So the question is, how do you ensure a steady stream of income and financial stability as a freelancer? I mean, because we know that as a freelancer, you don't have some months you might make money, some months you might not make anything, you might not actually get to work. So you know how it works, like. So how do you ensure that you have a steady stream of income, something that comes in every month, that you're not, there is no shortage?
Very
And
well.
what would you recommend to help for people starting out to manage their finance and budgets?
Okay. Let me break it down and take the first one. How do you ensure a steady stream of income and financial stability as a freelancer or independent contractor in Nigeria's tech sector? I'm almost about to say, no, you sort of won't achieve um, a steady stream of income. However, you can attain financial stability. Okay, you can achieve financial stability, and that's where savings and investments comes in. So you'll be like, I've not been able to feed myself 3 square meal. Where is the money to save? Yes, please, you can. You can. There's the 80-20% rule, and there are those who have inverted that rule. Some really wonderful friends of mine who have inverted that rule and they've made it the 20-80% rule. You say save 20% of all your earnings, and then you have your expenses, you have debts if you need to settle debts and all of the likes. And there are some who have said, you know what, save 80% and live on 20%. Yeah, so there are those kind of persons too. So you tell yourself this: whatever you earn at any point in time, there's no way. Separate an amount that you know you're not going to touch and save it. And as you keep saving, it becomes a part of you, it becomes an habit. And once that habit is formed, nothing can easily take it away. And when you look at the amount you've saved so far, you ask yourself, what kind of investment do I want to make? Real estate investments are there. Okay, someone said the best investment you can make is on yourself. Okay, do I want to perhaps send myself to go study abroad and the likes, apply for scholarships, and my savings can cater for my living for the first 2 months, and say I get to get a job when I get there. And yeah, you can do that. Why not? Sure. But how do you ensure a steady stream of income as a freelancer? You might not be able to achieve a steady stream of income, but there are things you can do to ensure that money keeps coming in. There are things you can do. So let me share this. For me, I got registered on Etsy, and Etsy is a platform where you get sell digital products. We have Envato Elements, we have Free I have products on Free and Etsy that I sell, and that's on graphics. Now, Etsy was like maybe 2017, 2018 when I was on service. Yeah, how much were they paying us on service then? So I really got cheered up and a couple of friends and registered on Etsy. we had help from foreign people, right? Like people outside the country to ensure that whenever we get paid, whenever our products got purchased, we get to get our money here in Nigeria, because you can't use a Nigeria PayPal, or there was no means of receiving our funds from Etsy then. So, and what were we selling? We were selling templates. So design templates and the likes, Illustrator, Photoshop templates, mockups and the likes, and then we'll put them available for sale there, but always in packs. You can see a pack of 45 mockups, or a pack of 20 social Instagram designs for your clothing brand. You know, we get to name those templates like that, and they are always just so catchy, and we just dump them there. Once we are done, it might take, let's say, about a week for you to fully develop it. But you know, the time you've spent developing that product and you put it there, over time, you just keep getting purchase, okay, purchase order, purchase order, purchase order, purchase order, purchase order. And it's not like you're it's like the amount you're selling it at $6, $10. It's like it's small, but $6 times 100 purchase, that's $600. If you leave it like for a whole year and you get $600, it's something. You can tell yourself it's small, but that $600 is just on one of your products. Now imagine you're having about 10 products there, and each of them, the minimum sales you are getting in a year on each product is, say, about 20, or let's say about 50. Now calculate it. You're already a millionaire here in Nigeria if you convert it to Naira. Okay, so yeah, I still sell, not I still sell digital products. And okay, for now, I have not been able to upload some products in a while, or create products because of projects I'm working on. But that's one way. Two is, sure, if you're a freelancer, definitely you would be spreading word about yourself. You create a design and then you loud it maybe on LinkedIn or Instagram or Twitter and things like that. And word of mouth, you tell your clients, okay, please tell someone who you know who needs my services. I'm right here. You know? And all of that still comes in. So you do your normal freelancing and you get paid. But one other thing you can really do is to package or create product packages. So you look at the company, and maybe it's a company that's doing well. You know this company, since you're doing well. Yeah. You check online, they have a website. You check their Instagram profile. It's nowhere to be compared, or there's nothing to write about it. Like it's just not making sense, right? And you feel, what if I do this? I create a package of designs. I take their logo, I create this. Sorry, I've been speaking in terms of design so far, but yeah, that's my niche, right? So what if I take take up a stance of their brand and communications manager, and I prepare a brand style guide, I prepare new set of logos, or just recreate their logos, make it really good, prepare a set of both company cards, that's business cards and ID cards, and also prepare banners, prepare social media designs, package everything and approach them. Yes, you approach them. You don't give it to them. No, you show them. I've prepared this, and I would like to see someone. Who can I speak to in your company? Of course, perhaps they have a mail or there's a phone number on their website. And you call them and give them a cold call and tell them, yeah, they will get this, all of this is available at this cost. As I say, we don't need it for now and all of that. You persuade them. I've not done it before, but I know someone who actually did that, and that's how that idea dropped in my mind. And I was like, yeah, it's possible to do it. And you actually get to have them as your clients. So, and then you tell them, okay, if you don't want this, how about just your social media designs? I can always create, say, about 10 designs for you every month at this rate. Instead of you hiring a graphics designer internally, you can just outsource all your graphics needs to me. However, I have packages of 20 designs in a month. I have package of 10 designs in a month. I have package of 5 designs in a month, right? And you have various costs attached to them. So with that, it's easy to, if you have companies like 10 of those, and each of them, you charge them just 100,000 in a month, and you're able to deliver to 10 of those, that's ₦1 million in a month. Okay, I'm actually being raw right now. Like, you get to have companies that, or individuals who need your services every month, and your services are packaged, and you get to build them that way. And of course, you deliver. Why not? So you can do that as well. And yep, for some persons, they take up contracts on projects. For me, yeah, that's something I did. I was taking up contracts as well, you know, event contracts. Say, what's the name? Authorized Day now. And all the designs for that event was just done by one person. One person took up the entire graphic designs for that event. That's a project event or a project contract. So, yeah. And of course, you are your first advertiser, like you're the first person responsible for marketing your product and services. So whatever front you put forward, expect that that would also correspond to the kind of response you get from clients and customers. Okay. So I hope that answers the question of steady stream of income and financial stability as a freelancer or independent contractor. So yeah, for budgeting, you need to limit something. Ask yourself this: what's the cost of me producing what I do? What's the cost of me producing what of me producing my products, right? Because let's talk about economy in a bit. Economy is such that you have production and you have consumption. The major thing that's derailing the Nigerian economy right now is we have more consumers than producers, right? And yet we have more demand. So in order for us to meet up with supply, we have to import products, right? Now, you need to be able to tell yourself that my own local production, what are the things that influence it? Oh, I'm paying for this software, or I'm paying for this platform that I use. That's a cost. A minute, please. Sorry about that. So that's a cost on you. So that's a cost on production. Okay, and you have to pen it down and ask yourself, so when I'm delivering, definitely I can't make a loss, right? So I have to make sure that that cost is being spread over the price. So, and I learned this late, but I'm glad I learned it eventually, and it's part of what I apply both on individual contract and also in the company. There is no way I would accept a project that is going to be like half of the cost. You know, say the cost of producing this project is 500,000 naira. Now, I can't accept 500,000 naira, or maybe just an amount over. It would always be twice or more. It would always be twice or more. So if I have a project of say 500,000 naira, except if it's a passion project or a project that's related to what I know that my life is about, right? So it's something that's joined to pass my vision, or yeah, then I don't mind letting go of money for that. But outside of that, no, it's impossible, because some things can happen along the line in which you feel, oh, I need to also pay this person, I need to pay this person to ensure that this project is completed. And before you know it, you're like, so am I going to use my own money to actually do it? No. But if you have a lot more in excess, if anything happens along the way, it's still within the available sum. So when you're budgeting for a project, perhaps you're asked to bring forward your invoicing and all that, and you're showing the cost of what this will be and that will be. You're doing business to make money. Yeah, feel free to double the price. Yeah, perhaps this person is going to collect this 250. Let's make it 500. Of course, it's on the company. So budgeting, you're doing business to make money. You're not doing business to throw away money or just to show your skills. Okay. Whatever you're into, app development, software development, digital marketing, graphics design, product design, cybersecurity. I think there's a new course I was hearing recently, AI AI usage or something like that, learning how to use or learning how to leverage the technology of AI. So yeah, we have machine learning too. So yeah, machine learning, data science, data analysis. So whatever it is, just ensure that you're not cutting yourself short. Okay? Ensure you're not cutting yourself short. So, and we have applications that helps, like I have two applications for invoicing, and I have one that helps me for both managing my personal budgets for expenses and all that, and also when it comes to jobs that I prepare all of those things on. So there are lots of them, both mobile apps and also desktop application. Give it a try if you're already billing your customers or clients. Okay, and ensure consistency. Okay, ensure consistency. So the question is this: would I charge Tony Elumelu the same amount I would charge, say, Seifa? Would I charge both of them the same price? Oh my God, that's a tricky question. No, I'm not going to. Do you know why? Because the product package I will deliver to Tony Elumelu is different from the product package I will offer to Seifa. You're like, isn't that discrimination towards your customers? I'll be like, I think I'm going to measure the current earning power of Tony Elumelu to be on the high net worth side. So I'll go and carry that package that I've prepared for those kind of people or for those kind of organizations. Imagine you have a package that you've prepared for companies like Shell or Chevron. Or, okay, don't let us mention Unilever. They just fired about how many thousands of people now. So yeah, laid off. So, top organizations, you can't build top organizations the same as you would build perhaps your SMEs. You should have different packages. You should be prepared ahead of time. So you should have different packages that you would provide them. So if you provide, say, a 50 million package for your high net worth individuals or high net worth companies, when you come to your SMEs, it could be, say, 10 million or 5 million thereabouts. So you know that there is a difference in the earning power of these two entities. And because of that, you can strategically prepare ahead. So all of a sudden, a friend of yours who works, say, at Nestle just calls, hey, we need someone who quickly take up this project. Advertising agencies having their hands filled up, and this is just a small project thereabouts. It's not something that we really budgeted at the beginning of the year in our program that we're going to do. Those kind of things can come up actually, and we really just need someone who would come in and help us deliver in terms of maybe an application or the designs and stuff like that. And it brings it to you. I'm like, thank you so much. That's fine. So what's your guys' budget? No. How much would you bill us for it? And that's where you bring out your package. Okay, for me to do something like this, like this, like this. I mean, you create a short presentation with samples of I delivered this to this, I delivered this here, I delivered this here. And yeah, if you want something similar and even better, because I've acquired more skills and I've improved myself. So if you want something better, yeah, this is the cost. And your friend will be like, oh boy, now how far? Guy, talk to me. So he's not now like this, they chop money. He's like, no, guy, see, nah, una be. I cannot charge you guys the same way I'm going to charge someone. So you are prepared. You know, opportunity meets preparation. It's not just a quote, no, it's a fact. Hmm? How prepared you are will determine your reaction towards these situations. So if you're prepared ahead, it's easy for you to handle those situations when they come up. So definitely the pricing will be different or the cost will be different. Okay. I hope I answered those questions accurately. Is there any one of them left on that same?
Currently none, but just
Okay.
this one question. From your perspective, can someone live comfortably on a free as a freelancer, right? Like that's your work, that's what you do. Can someone live like that comfortably?
Very well. There was a time I was doing this and not what I do now, but I was in graphics and I was charging like 5,000 naira per flyer. And but right now it's impossible for someone to approach me, hey, I want a flyer, don't come and do a flyer for me. I'll be like, just a flyer. I'm sorry, I can't. What else do you need me to do? Like, there has to be more steps for me to do because I know that the cost of one is low compared to if there is a package involved and I have to maybe deliver up to 10, 20 items, right? So with that, I begin to probe, okay, what do you guys want to do? What's the flyer for? And don't you think you need this? Don't you think you need this? Already, I'm adding more to it. I was doing that when I was in graphics design or when I was creating graphics. So, yeah, I'd say yes, you can, but it now depends on how you position yourself. Positioning is very important. There are some persons who position themselves to just, yeah, be collecting 10,000 naira for a flyer. And some persons who position themselves to be creating designs for Big Brother Nigeria. Do you get it? The earning power will be different. And your earning power will determine if you live comfortably. Okay, you don't want to drink Gary morning, afternoon, and night now, do you? No, you don't. You want to eat well, you want to live in a comfortable environment. You need to be a blessing to yourself with the skills you've learned. Okay, so yeah, you need to position yourself. So if you're someone on this call and you've been earning low, start asking yourself, how can I improve and increase my earning power? How can I position myself better? There are a lot of tech expos where you can meet people. You meet, if you're a designer, you meet app developers, you meet companies creating technologies, you meet startups. So there are ways you can meet people. There are ways you can connect and communicate and improve your circle. And as you keep growing your circle, you realize how small you've been doing what you could actually do big. Okay. And for me, I left the graphics design circle in terms of production. That's me producing graphics designs for me to be able to focus on 3D. And in the 3D industry, so we have just this year, there's been up to 5 different meetups or convention. There's been RenderCon. There's been, yeah, one still took place about 2 weeks ago. So not one, two on the same day. So you get to attend these conferences and conventions and meetups, and you get to meet people and expand your reach. So can you live comfortably? Yes, you can. Am I living comfortably? To a wonderful extent. Yes, I am. So if I can do it, I don't want to say if I can do it, you can do it, but I'll encourage you. If you're already head and foot and whole body in the tech industry, I'll say, yes, you can do it. Profile yourself and be truthful to yourself. What's my current earning power? How much am I earning right now? And how can I improve? What are the types of clients that I need to meet? How can I meet their demands? Okay, because you are a producer, right? You have your skill, you have your talent. How can I? Some of you would actually need to develop your own website, okay, and have your product offerings on your website. It could be a Wix. Why not? And you can navigate yourself around a WordPress. Why not? Or a Google site. But you have a web presence, you have a social media presence, and you begin to post your content. So, yes, you can. I hope that answers the question.
Yes, it does. Okay, so at this point, the floor is open. If you have a question, you can just ask the question now. So if you can't speak, you can put your question in the chat box. But if you can, you can just raise your hand and we'll give permission to unmute and speak. Okay, Abiodun, you can unmute your mic and ask your question.
Thank you so much for the session. I've gained so much. I would just like to ask, for those who are looking at getting gigs from Upwork, can you hear?
Yes, I can hear you. For those who are looking to get gigs from
Upwork specifically. So they've been trying, or myself now. I've been trying, and each time I bid, in fact, I'm tired of bidding for jobs.
Spending
I
connects.
I don't get responses. Is there like a trick to it or something? I've never gotten a positive response from a client on Upwork before. What tip would you advise? There's a portfolio there and all, but just to land that first gig is what I need your advice on. Thank you.
Okay. Now I feel tempted to share, but yeah, I should share this. So, quick question. Your portfolio, your work, your profile, when you were setting it up, did you just set it up yourself the way you feel? Yeah, let me just do it this way. Or is there someone who you found on Upwork whose profile is actually getting getting results, and the person is getting jobs? And you decided to replicate your profile after that person's profile, not word for word, because of course you shouldn't do that, but you see the way the person positioned himself or herself, you see the kind of content the person is having there. Maybe, I don't know if your niche in Upwork is graphics, but if it's graphics, then you get to ask yourself, what are the contents, what are the offerings this person is providing? Is it similar to what I have? If it's similar, then how has this person positioned him or herself? And the person is getting clients. And then what does the person do? Of course, even if you send a message to the person, it's not assured that you get a response. So I would say this. I didn't do this for mine, but what some of my friends did, okay, what a particular friend of mine did was to join a group. I'm also on the group. I was on the group. It was an Upwork group where ideas, tips, and connections on Upwork gets to be shared. And yeah, you have people on there who get to pay for your products or your service, and you get to pay for theirs, and it's gonna be like the same amount. But the thing is, Upwork, you definitely lose a sum while doing all of this, and it's like you're building a profile, building your profile on Upwork. So you're like, but is it meant to be like this? But the truth is this: if I as a customer comes, or yeah, and I'm on Upwork and I'm searching for someone to do my work for me, and I see someone with 4.8 rating and someone who hasn't delivered any job, and I see both profiles and both profiles are good, and I see that the person who has delivered 4.8 is actually available and bidding for for my work, I will be much more compelled to give that person, wouldn't I? Yes, I would. So it's such that developing a profile on Upwork, one gets to lose money at first, but then in the long run, you get to actually make everything back. So would I encourage you to actually take that step? I'll say it depends on you, if you're up to it. I don't know if you get me. Like on that platform, you guys just share each other's connections and, okay, this is my profile. Yeah, I'm going to offer to have this project done. And when you bid, I take you as a person to execute the bid, and you get it done. And I pay you. Then you set up the same thing and you pay me. So that's something people do. But one other thing is this. I don't know if you know this profile, this platform, Pinterest, but a lot of people get to take their works, like graphics designs, and pin it on Pinterest. With that, it gets to just direct people when they want to check the source of that design, right? People are checking for sample. Oh, I need a sample of a logo for my brand, and my brand is a tech brand. What do? We help people invest their money in, say, events and the like. So I need a logo for that. And they go online and they start searching for samples so that they would know, or they will see what they want, right? So while searching, they come across something you've done, say on Pinterest or on Google, and they want to check the source. Okay, who created this? Or where is the source of this very design? And it leads them to your profile. And they can just contact you. Hey, I saw this, I saw this, I saw this. And you tell them, please, I won't be able to take this job directly. Just, can you come on Upwork? It takes just a few steps to register on Upwork. I would love for you to. Some of them will say, no, can't we just do it directly? Especially if they are here in Nigeria, can't we just do it directly? I mean, Naira payments instead of dollar payment and the likes. And yeah, you can decide to take the Naira payment, but I'll still encourage you to push such a person and be like, okay, you know what? Can't you just try? Just stick that extra step and yeah, take on this job for me on Upwork. Like, post it and I'll accept it, or I'll bid for it, and you get to just accept it, and I'll get it done for you. And you can. So the thing is this: anyone who gets to approach you offline to get something done, encourage them to go on Upwork. I don't know if you get me. That's another approach. Encourage them to go on Upwork. If you want to make Upwork your major freelancing platform, encourage them to go there. If it's Fiverr, encourage them to go on Fiverr, and then when they post the job, tell them to send you the job link, and they'll do. And you go on it, and you bid for it, you accept it, you execute, you get your payments on Upwork. Now you might feel, oh, am I not losing money? Money that I could have earned without Fiverr or Upwork taking their commission from it. So the truth is, what you are doing and what you know you're doing is you are building your reputation on Upwork. And you see, Ben, I'll ask my client, please, what else can I do for you to give me 5-star? I know you've paid me, but what else can I offer you? And in your rating, it will satisfy to give me 5-star. And the person says, don't worry, I've already given you the 5. Oh, thank you so much. And the person says, hey, you delivered this stuff, but I still need this, I need this, I need this. You tell the person, hey, it's such that it's much, but if you can put it, look at the trickle. If you can put it as another project or a continuation of this one, and then you increase the amount and you give me the 5-star for this one, and I'm going to take it up and I'll reduce the cost for you. With that, what have you done? You are building a relationship with that one person. Imagine just one person giving you about 10 jobs. When I was doing the designs for the Indian guy with his jewelry store, it was as though it was my only client on Upwork. Just that one person. So how you get to manage your relationship with your clients is important. You get to ask them, is there anything else I can do for you? I've done this for you, and I did a little research about your brand, and I see that this is like a competitor, and they have this, they have this, they have this. Don't you think you would need the same thing? If you need the same thing, I can do it for you even at a lesser price. You're doing it at a lesser price, yes, but you're building something. You are building your own reputation, your own brand reputation, even there. And when the person needs something else, he knows, oh, there's this person who actually did this for me. Then let me see if his profile or her profile is still on Upwork, and comes back to you maybe after 3 months or 4 months or even more than a year. But even by then, your profile could have blown up, and you'd be like, thank you so much. You're a wonderful customer then when I started and you stuck with me. So what can I do for you? So how you get to approach people is your communication skill is important. So it's not only about your work skill, like your graphics, your app development, your product design. It's not only about those, but your communication skill is also important. That was why I actually asked, how did you set up your profile? What's your description like? What's the information you have there? Is it something that would actually make people feel at home to approach you and feel, oh, this person is business-like, this person is just strictly business, is someone I feel I can relate with. So it has to be sort of like a crazy combination of both. Okay, so I don't know if that's is something that if my response
Yes,
is
very
helpful.
helpful, very helpful. Thank you so much. The thing is, I've looked at one or two profiles that are doing well, even though they have more skills than I have. In fact, I've changed my my profile several times, but the other tips you shared, I would consider that as well. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, Abiodun.
Okay, so is there any other question? I hope you learned something that you can use to assist you at your work today. Okay then, so I'll take it. Someone wanted to ask a question.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hi.
Hello?
We can hear you.
Blackouts like that. In my short experience, almost like more than a month with Nut Factory and the things that I've been able to learn, I've been trying things out myself, accepted, and I'm still looking out for opportunity of internship with people that will empower me to be able to learn more about the product design and product management. I have my recent experience joining a company as an intern. It ended well, but yeah, it was okay. But the way it ended, I was really, really not. It was. I don't know if I don't want to go to details, but it's a very deep life lesson for me, and it was this process of wanting to learn more and furthermore on the things that I've learned back then as a digital marketer. So how would you advise in that kind of, I don't want to go too into details or to bore your time, but let me just short it. When I approached them and they tried to apply me, okay, you'll be interning with us for so amount of time. And if we say that you are okay, we'll staff you. And if you are not okay, we might leave you to whatever it is you have learned from us. So we were supposed to be together for 3 months. 3 months ended up being a year. But the agreement they made on the internship documentation was what they were given by. So they putting everything on my table, but no basic job designation. So my question to you is, if I'm to approach another brand, probably a company in another direction, what kind of like, how can I structure my agreement with them so I don't end up doing that kind of, I don't know, it's a learning process for me. I won't call it a slave job then. It's a learning process for me. I learned from them. But the fact that the agreement of a thing through internship on me wanting to learn and grow, they used it against me at the long run. So they took away the job when I didn't expect. When I was trying to ask questions like, can we, just sit again and retalk our discussions? So at that point in time, I thought I would be able to at least I've done a year, I've tried enough from 3 months to a year. I should be able to have a clear. So, exactly. So we say, that's why I've been wanting to talk about it since following the class, but I just wanted to be at the time be able to get my point of view. So now I'm learning product design. I realize, wow, I'm amazed with the things I'm learning. I have to, appreciate Net Factory for that. So beautiful. To avoid the kind of circumstances, maybe I will not say another one and say, okay, I want to tell that with you, or they will end up going. So please, what can you advise on that kind of situation? Thank you.
May I ask, the niche or the job or the internship was for social media marketing, right? Or
yes, digital marketing.
Digital marketing. Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Digital marketing. Very well. I'd say going forward, have your own have what you can accept. Okay, so it's such that it's going to be a guide to know that not all jobs are for me. If someone is coming to me with 100,000 naira offering, I'm not going to take it. 150. Maybe I'll consider 180, 200, 250. So you have your targets, you know the amounts you're expecting. Then you look at the job role, the responsibilities. This is the job, product design. I'm expecting that from my research. This is what a product designer should be doing in a company. These are the things that is expected of me to deliver. Don't employ me as a product designer and be giving me graphics design to do because you know that, yes, I have the graphics design skill. Employ me as a product designer. The moment you start accepting some things, before you know it, it becomes your job role. So when they're supposed to get a graphics designer in the organization, you'll be doing the job of 2 people and you'll still be paid less.
Exactly what happened. Exactly how it happened.
I can imagine that. I didn't share some of my terrible experiences, but let me focus on yours, not on me. So I would say going forward, know what you would take, know what you won't take. Okay. And I would say it took a year for you to be courageous enough to go meet them and tell them, okay, can we restructure our agreement? I was meant to spend 3 months as an intern, and from our discussion, my position is going to be reviewed if it's satisfactory as an intern but 3 months, I didn't hear anything from anyone. It's a year. So I feel you guys should let me know where I stand. But before you do that, I would say this. You could have prepared an alternative. So you have under your belt close to 12 months experience on the job as an intern. That is enough to apply for other role to apply for the same role in other organizations, not as an intern this time, because you already have internship experience, right? So you have a year of internship experience. You can apply for that same role in other organization as a full-time staff, in which you have the full package. Some of them might even offer you the old HMO offering and all the likes, with a proper leave allowance even when you're on leave. So don't worry. I believe that the best is yet to come for you. This is an experience that, yes, would prepare you to always prepare ahead. So for the product design, as you're learning, you're developing a portfolio, and then you would need to gain experience. Internship is that opportunity to gain experience. But then if you tell yourself, my internship, 6 months, after 6 months, I'm off. Or before the end of 6 months, I would start looking for a permanent position in an organization. So that would prepare you. So everything you would do within that 6 months of interning, you would tell yourself, how can I make sure that whatever I do would be of high quality, that nobody can refute what I'm doing. Nobody can mention what I'm doing has a mediocre job or something that's less than standard, And even when the company says that, oh, this person is delivering well, by that 6 months, when you are saying, thank you all so much, I have an offering somewhere else, and I would have to leave in 2 weeks' time to join the new organization. They won't want you to go because they know the value of what you are giving them. And because they know the value of what you are giving them, they themselves will be the one coming to you. We would also like to retain you. Can we sit down and talk? So yeah, it's always happens that way, Someone I know person was on the same role for close to like 2 years, thereabout, and he felt he shouldn't be on this role. Every achievement that the boss is taking and saying yes, and everybody's hailing the boss, he was the one who did everything. He did everything, and the boss is taking the accolades for it. And eventually, he got an offering somewhere else. And the role of the boss in his current organization is the role they were giving him in the organization he's going to. And then they came and they wanted to entice him, like, stay now, we'll increase your salary. They wanted to increase the salary, but they were not ready to increase his role. He was like, sorry, I've already accepted the offer in the other organization. It's time to go. They know the value of what he's delivering. So they wanted to keep him. But they now felt bad, like, oh, really, we've not actually been treating him well, even though he's the one who has been delivering. Everybody knows, or everybody knew that he was the one delivering, right? But there's always that hanky-panky in organizations like that. So, and it's still people instigated. Okay, still people instigated. So I would encourage you to, I'm happy you are learning from your experience as well. So I'll say, going forward, tell yourself, okay, I have this period of time to learn my skill or to learn from Net Factory, and then internship, 3 months internship, perhaps too short, 6 months. If I'm going to encourage people for internship, go 6 months. Don't just learn the skill when on internship. Learn the business. Okay? Even though you're a graphics designer for a company, learn what that company does. Don't just be like, oh, I'm just going to be designing graphics for these guys. No. Or product design in this tech company. No. Learn the business aspect of it. Where is the app going to? Who are those? How are they making the money? Learn the business as well. So when you're leaving, you'll be grateful to them as well and be like, yeah, even though I'm leaving these guys, or maybe even though they did not treat me well, but what I've gained in here, money cannot buy. And then within perhaps your 4th month to your 6th month, you're already preparing yourself to leave. You've already taken up your CV, and even on your CV, you've already put it there, 6 months internship experience. You put the company, you put the dates from so time, and you're looking at it that perhaps at so time, I should leave. So you're already getting prepared, and your LinkedIn profile is already saying, yeah, counting the amount of months, 4 months at this very location. So when you start applying to jobs, it's full-time position. It could be junior role or entry-level role and the likes, but it's not internship role. Okay, and with that, you should get a better pay as well. So I hope all I've said so far, all I've shared is
you really thank you very much. I really appreciate you. You answered it the best way the best way I would have loved to hear it. So because you hit a lot of points with things that you said pertaining my last job that I used as in asking the question, and I saw it as a learning process. So when I got with the company, they saw me as a young copper, so they knew I needed a place for stability. So I think it was a good advantage for them. But I learned, and I learned a lot from them as well. So this one that you said, it's really, really enlightening. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir. Okay, Shaifa, I still want.
Okay, thank you everyone so much for joining this session. Thank you, Michael, for coming on board. I really appreciate it. Just want to say thank you so much, everybody, for making this session a success.